Welcome everyone to yet another Skyrim Creation Club review. This time we are looking at the campfire creation. In the video we will have a look at everything this mod has to offer, scrutinizing and analysing all of its features, and then at the end of the video I'll give it a rating out of 5 and let you know if I think you should spend your hard-earned cash on the creation. Now let's get on with the video. We'll start by reading the creation's description. Make Skyrim that much more accommodating with this cozy movable campsite, complete with a lean-to for sleeping, campfire for warmth, and some cooking and a new fast travel marker. While camping with followers, they'll also make themselves comfortable around the fire. So to get your campsite in the game, you'll have to craft it at the forge under the miscellaneous section. To make your camping supplies you'll need 3 firewood, which can be bought from merchants or chopped at a wood chopping block, and 1 leather, which can be purchased from a merchant or created at a tanning station using animal pelts. The camping supplies have a weight of 9, which is pretty high, especially if you're playing on survival mode, which you most likely are if you're using this creation. This is understandable though, because when you set up the campfire, you'll see that it uses a lot of wood and stones, which would probably weigh quite a lot. To set up your campfire, all you need to do is stand in the location that you want your campfire to be, go to your inventory, find your camping supplies under miscellaneous, and use the supplies. Your screen will then fade out to black, and when it fades back in, you'll have your campsite. The first time you do this, a message will pop up telling you, campsites allow you to rest and stay warm whilst exploring the wilderness. You can cook a limited number of meals over the campfire, and your campsite is marked on your map so you can locate and fast travel to it later. We'll get back to these features in a minute. The campsite consists of a bed made from straw and leather, and for some strange reason a map which serves no purpose other than for aesthetics, a lean-to that acts as a shelter for the bed, a crate for sitting on, and a campfire for staying warm and cooking. I decided to test the limitations of where you can place the campfire, and I was pleasantly surprised that you can pretty much place it wherever you want, including a small peak at the throat of the world, including a floating campfire and shelter, and even in shallow water if you feel like sleeping with the fishes. The only places you can't build your shelter are where the water is too deep to be able to stand in, which is understandable, but what isn't understandable is that you can't build a campfire anywhere indoors. I could understand not being able to build a campfire in Dragon's Reach or in your local inn, but not being able to set up a campfire in a cave just seems silly to me. However, this is probably due to the creator of the creation not being able to separate caves and inns, as they are both just marked as indoors. However, it would have been nice to be able to set up a campfire in a cozy little cave. This creation is obviously meant to be used with the survival mode creation, which is why the fire will warm you up, removing the debuff to your health and preventing it in cold areas. However, you can only cook meat-based meals and not soup due to the fact that there is no cooking pot, which is really frustrating as soup is so useful in survival mode. What they should have done is allowed you to craft several different versions of the campsite that have several different weights and use different materials to create and have different features, such as a version that weighs more and requires a cooking pot to craft, but then it comes with a cooking pot so that you can make soup, or a version without a fire and a crate to sit on that weighs less for when you're camping in warm areas and just want a bed to sleep in. Or even a version with an anvil, tanning rack and wood chopping block so that you can make some more camping supplies at your campsite. This is something that they could include in a future update, but for now you only have the one campsite option. The ability to fast travel to your campsite is a nice feature, however it's completely useless in survival mode because you're not allowed to fast travel, and this campfire is only going to be any use to people using survival mode. So although it's a nice idea, it ends up being pointless. It might have been useful if you could set up several campfires at a time, because then you could set up your own fast travel markers. However, when you set up a second campfire, your original campfire will disappear along with the map marker, meaning that you can only have one campfire at a time. Another annoying thing about the campfire is that when you break it, you don't get your supplies back, meaning that you have to carry several camping supplies with you if you want to set up several camps before you get back to a forge. This is incredibly frustrating and not really true to real life. You should, in my opinion, be able to repack your camping supplies and reuse them so that you don't have to carry around several sets. And I don't think anyone would have complained about that being unimmersive, because the supplies you use are reusable, except maybe the firewood that you use to burn the fire, but still I think this would have been better if you could reuse the supplies. So now that we've covered all of the features of the campfire creation, it's time to give it a rating out of 5 and let you know if I think you should spend your real life cash dollar on the creation. The creation is a great idea that works really well in unison with the survival creation. The campfire itself looks nice, and I was pleasantly surprised by how you can place it pretty much anywhere outdoors. However, this mod has a lot of issues, including not being able to build it in a cave, not being able to cook soup, zero customizability options, and other frustrations. Another thing that you need to consider is that this creation is essentially made pointless and unnecessary because there are already free mods available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC that you can use instead of this creation. Originally this wasn't the case because these free mods wouldn't warm you up in survival mode, but now they have fixes that mean that they do warm you up in survival mode, making this creation completely null and void. For all of these reasons, I'm going to give this creation a 1 out of 5. Do not buy this. There is absolutely no reason whatsoever to buy this creation. Even if you were to buy the backpack, survival, and campfire bundle, you would still be 100 credits better off if you buy the survival mode and adventurer's backpack separately and then just use one of the free campfire mods. Save yourself some spare change and get the free mod instead. So that will take us to the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it or found it helpful in some way. If you did, please leave a like, click subscribe, and hit the notifications bell button to see more videos like this in the future. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so any help in getting there is much appreciated. I'll see you in the next video. May Talos guide you.